Jesus Christ, of course. That's the only one you're allowed to have in 1909. Lawyer's like, nailed it. I'm sorry. Question's wrong. Where is your Lord and Savior from? The judge is in a pool of sweat. You know what? Your client is innocent because he's white.
Thank you.
They make all Middle Eastern people in America white because they would rather make Middle Eastern people white than make Jesus Christ brown.
Thank you.
Given one called Should I Stay or Should I Go by James Ball, which poses some interesting questions raised in songs. Hopefully we can sort a few of them out. Have a listen to this.
How much is that dog in the window?
Okay, so how much would a puppy under 6 months old actually cost for a pet shop in the UK? Not correct. Oh, no, sorry. No, I said 50.
You can't get them from pet shops.
That is the correct answer. You cannot get them from pet shops since 2019.
Speaking to a dog rescuer.
You can only get them now from breeders or authorised rehoming centres. The rules changed in 2019.
There has to be a licensed breeder, and you must ask to see the mother.
Yes, you must see the mother.
Mother? Would you like to go out with me? I want to see your mother.
Let's have another question from a song. Why do birds celebrate?
Is it a feeding thing?
It is to do with feeding, darling. Birds are able to distinguish rather subtle changes in weather. And they may know that a storm is coming and they want to feed as quickly as possible before the weather changes.
That's what it is.
It's to do with that.
My dad lives in Australia, and he had grapes outside of his house in Adelaide, and all of these birds, it's like they just had chatted to each other. They just turned up all at once and ate everything in 2 minutes and went away.
Wow.
Why is it that we never see baby pigeons? What do you think the reason is?
They're invisible till they're 6 months old.
They mature quicker than most species, and they tend to stay in the nest until they're fully fledged.
Yeah.
And the fact is, honestly, we don't really see baby birds of any kind, really. We'll see ducks and so on, but mostly we don't see baby birds anywhere. The way you can tell a baby pigeon, you do occasionally see them in the street, and the adults have red, orange eyes. You can see the adult there, and the babies still have dark eyes, so that is one of the ways in which you can tell.
They're lovely. How pretty the babies, aren't they?
Yeah, you'd have to be a mother to love that, wouldn't you?
My dad used to race pigeons when I was a kid.
Did he win?
In the presence of professional comedians.
It made me 20 quid to do that set.
Let's have another song question.
How many roads must a man walk down?
Okay, so my question is, how much road should a boy walk down before he becomes a man?
Oh, in terms of aging?
Well, let's try and just work out how many miles. Between your 5th and your 18th birthday, so that it makes you a man. How many roads?
8,000 roads.
8,000 roads.
I'm going to say 25,000 roads.
I'm going to go 100 miles a year, and it's 13 years, 1,300 miles.
Okay, it is
It's not enough, it's not
No,
enough.
it's going to make a very, very fat person.
You're telling me that I'm obese because I've walked on the pavement instead of the road?
No. The original average of boy ought to walk 15,000 steps per day. That's 35,500 miles between their 5th and their 18th birthday. So there are just under 250,000 miles of road in the UK. So the answer to Bob Dylan's question for the British band is you should aim to walk down 1/7 of all British roads by the time you are 18.
That was a really long afternoon in the office.
Yeah. average man drives an extra 900 miles while lost. So who think Land's End to John Grace is 874 miles? That's how much extra time men will drive.
That is a new thing where men think they know better than the sat nav.
Well,
Always. Don't listen to that shit. Don't listen to that.
Now, here's another extremely silly question, submitted in 2011 by, Mr. Alan Davis. So, darling, if you could just read the question out. Thank you so much.
What is the aquatic equivalent of a sheepdog?
About 1840 to 1930, off the coast of Eden in New South Wales, there was a club of porpoise type of dolphin, and they were reported herded by Australian fishermen, and they were rewarded with tons and nets of the rain. It became known as the Lord Tongue. Indigenous people, the Yulin people, I thought they cooperated with porpoise for, we don't know, perhaps thousands of years, but became the name of their people, Yulin people. He was known as Old Tom, 1938. At Laguna in southern Brazil, there's a group of bottlenose dolphins, and they have been collaborating with local fishermen to herd fish since at least 1847. So they drive shoals of mullet towards the fishermen in shallow water, and then they indicate the sort of specialised head and tail movements where the humans should throw the net, and then they share the catch. And there's about 200 fishermen who are entirely dependent on the dolphins, and they never fish well. And it seems to be a single rule about 20 years. And it runs just, it's been handed down in the family, exactly as it has for the fishermen. And there's also dogs that herd fish. They're called Portuguese water dogs, and they've been used for this purpose for absolutely centuries. The Portuguese call them Portuguese fishing dogs.
It's a good photo, isn't
Isn't it beautiful? John, it's so
What's the shutter speed there?
it's unbelievably fast.
You run at me and I'll get you when you're running.
Actually, that could suit you, darling. That's very nice.
And you could get a little brown beard like these guys.
It turns out that there actually are aquatic sheepdogs after all, sort of. Anyway, not as silly as you thought. Now, here is another. It's Christmas time for Her Majesty's speech, but what did people sing before there was a national anthem?
Onward Christian soldier.
Anybody know? God Save the King. When does that come
I
from?
imagine it's Victorian.
I don't think that God Save the King started in Victorian times.
No.
That,
No.
wouldn't it be Royal Britannia?
Well, they performed publicly in the same year. So God Save the King it was, first publicly performed in 1745. It was the band at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, and it was played nightly. It was a sort of defiant response to the Jacobite victory of the Battle of Preston Pan. But there is a third patriotic song which is much older, used to be more popular than either of those things. It's called Britain's Straight Home, written by Henry Purcell in 1695 for a production of the play about, I don't know what we say anymore, did we say Boudica? Yeah, Boudica. Boudica is the way for it.
We still say Bodicea in Essex. Where she lived.
You got it right. It was sung by a druid to whip up resistance against the Romans, and it used to be hugely popular, this song. The entire House of Commons sang it spontaneously in 1797 when war was declared by Pitt. It was played on board ship during the Battle of Trafalgar. The last recorded instance of it being played as a sort of patriotic rallying cry is December 1914, but it's since fallen out of public consciousness, so we've got a quick version performed by the Academy of Ancient Music. Listen to this. Do you like it? You come from a composing family.
In terms of kind of patriotic songs,
Yeah.
I prefer Three Lions.
I suspect it was written in a kebab house.
Okay, so we are all going to sing. Here we go. Take home, revenge your country's wrongs. Fight and reborn. Fight and reborn. sweating greyhounds. Now for a few questions. Anybody here ever had the quabbles? Don't spare me the details.
Indigestion, diarrhea.
I've had like collywobbles.
Collywobbles, yes, that is to do with your digestive area, isn't it?
No.
No?
That's when you're just like a bit unsettled.
Okay.
Like, I went out in the garden, I think an owl's watching me, I've got the collywobbles. Like I put his eyes on me, like it's not hooting.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's there.
What
He's
might
looking
it,
at me, but his body's facing the wrong way, but his head's coming right around.
what might it do to you if it's watching you?
You might think I'm a shrew or something, I don't know.
Okay, so it's not quabbles,
It's
isn't
an
it?
emotional thing, it is physical.
It's a very old word. It's actually a word from possibly in the Wiltshire dialect. It's the wrinkles that form on your fingers when you are
Oh,
on
I
your
hate them.
toes.
Oh, I
Yes.
hate them.
Why do you hate them?
Oh, when you rub them against each other, they come. Oh my God, I hate that.
Why do you think we have them? Do you know what the reason is?
Is it for grip?
Yeah, well, we don't know, but it's possible that is one of the suggestions, that it's a sort of evolutionary adaptation, because you have to handle objects quite often with wet hands, and it helps drain water away from the fingers so you get a better grip. It's not simply because your skin is saturated, because you would have it all over, wouldn't you? It is very useful for doctors as a diagnostic tool, particularly on an unconscious patient, because you might suspect damage to the autonomic nervous system, like your breathing and your digestion and your heartbeat and so on. If you wet the hand, you can see which bits wrinkle. Elephants have permanently quabbled skin, and they know why.
They're always in the bar. When humans appear, they jump out the bar. They're quabbled from head to toe.
Is it a surface area?
It is to do with staying cool. Yeah. So they have these tiny interconnected crevices, and the cracks in the skin, it retains 5 to 10 times as much water as it would if it was smooth. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Elephant skin is the most glorious feeling to it. It's just soft and exquisite. There's one.
Where did you meet him?
With the mouth.
Which brings us to the Quizmazy quagmire of quandaries, which is our Quizmaz general ignorance. Fingers on buzzers, please. How many months of the year does it snow in Britain? Yep. All the time. Is the correct answer? All rain in the UK begins as snow. Is the actual answer. Albeit unbelievably
Good
high up.
noise,
Yeah.
good interested noise. I'm going to tell that one to people at home.
Very rare for the atmosphere, unless it's a very cold day. The snow melts as soon as it hits the warm air, and it falls to the ground as rain.
Do you know what, Sandy? I'd have a party with a happy atmosphere. I don't know, well, crying party.
Most British rain is caused by something called the Bergeron-Findeisen process. So tops of the clouds are made of a mix of ice crystals and supercooled water droplets. So that's water which is below freezing point but has not frozen. The liquid water clumps around the ice crystals and forms snowflakes.
Below freezing point, but it hasn't
It
frozen.
has
Right on.
Which is perfectly possible. And they
We should be stoned.
They form snowflakes which grow until they're heavy enough to fall out of the clouds. So in Britain, upper temperate climates, nearly all of the rain which we get starts as snow.
That's amazing.
So you start snow, you're drifting a bit, drifting, and then you think, oh, turning.
A turning.
Right.
And so you've learnt exactly what it's like, just like that. Why is ice slippery?
It's the watery bit on top of the ice. That sound right?
I think you should probably ask Sandy rather than me.
When your foot goes down, it melts the top of the ice.
Don't ever look at me again when you're answering a question.
It's a little thing. It used to melt when you stepped on it, or that by stepping on the ice somehow.
She is just really yanked
Yeah, she's got a lot of life insurance. Considering when you stepped on the ice, the pressure exerted melted the top layer, and this water is then what you slid on, not
That's what Steve had to think.
one made through the satellite. So reindeers for children who eat carrots like Rudolph. Reindeers find it hard to eat carrots. They don't have incisor teeth in the upper jaw, so they never evolved to eat them. It's not a food stuff that you find in the wild at all.
Have you heard about the carrot swindle? Do you know about the carrot swindle? When you go to your self-serve checkout, everything you put on the way, you just press carrots.
Really?
Yeah, it'd be like buying an anvil and you press carrot. Yeah, so you put down what's an expensive vegetable. I'm not doing it, Josh. I'm a very honest customer. For a reindeer. Because what they found, the supermarkets, the reason they started to become suspicious was because they were selling millions of tons of carrots. And then thousands and thousands of bottles of Prosecco were being sold. They started to watch people, and sure enough, people just putting all their washing in the thing, pressing carrots and putting it all over. I'm doing it for Sainsbury's.
Yes, Alan, when you put your washing on, what should you press? Why should we not give carrots to rabbits?
Oh, I don't know.
You're absolutely right. Wild rabbits don't eat these vegetables in any way. Or fruit at all. Too much sugar probably causes tooth decay. Best diet for pet rabbits is hay supplemented with some dark vegetables, but certainly not carrots. Let me show you the world's biggest rabbit. This is Darius, owned by Annette Edgewood.
He is not happy about being picked up there, is he?
Bill Bailey's got two of those, and he told me that his was the biggest rabbit in the world.
Well, apparently this one measures 4 foot 4 inches from nose to tail, costs over £2,000 a year in food
We're
bills.
going to have a rabbit off with Bill and that one.
That is brilliant. That's fantastic, isn't it? I mean, that's nearly as tall as me. I do a lot of things.
No, but you just want that to be in the garden when the cat comes over trying to bully it.
The unrealistic thing about the Father Christmas story is that reindeer don't actually eat carrots. Now, I think it's time for a cup of cheer. Who would like a glass of wine?
Oh, yes, please.
What a way to fall off the wagon this is going to be.
It really does feel like Christmas at my house because the glasses are plastic.
Very expensive glasses then.
Madam, call that crystal.
Oh, that was a good day at Poundland, wasn't it, when you got
Okay.
there?
So, I know you like to know a little bit about wine, don't you, Josh?
Love.
Yeah, okay.
wine.
So, how far in advance should you open the wine for your Christmas dinner to make sure it is properly aerated?
October.
I would say 15 minutes.
It's intolerable to open a bottle of wine and wait for more than 15 seconds.
I can't wait for the Fedora Rocher round.
Are we allowed to drink this?
Just telling if your mother says it's okay. All those Christian soldiers, everyone.
Red wine.
The best way, if you are going to aerate red
What my
wine,
sofa smells like.
is not to decant it at all, or indeed
What,
aerate
drink
it.
it straight from the bottle?
You honestly might as well, is the truth of it. But if you really and truly wanted to aerate it, what you need to do is to put it in a blender. Or do what I've done here, which is I've poured out a bit of the wine, put the cork back in and give it a jolly good shake. But just leaving it open for an hour or putting it in a decanter or something, it's actually pointless, frankly.
I like the idea of using your NutriBullet the next morning. It's like potato.
But lots of people believe that aerating good wine makes it worse. There's a guy called Emile Hemu. He's often thought of as the sort of forefather of enology, so the guy who knows about the study of wine. And he said it should be avoided at all costs, so don't bother with it at all.
Don't even pull over.
With all the drinking we'll be doing this Christmas, we're all going to have stacks of glasses and cups. So who fancies a Christmas cup stacking contest?
Oh,
Shall we
yes,
do this?
please.
Okay, so take out your stack of cups.
Yeah.
And what you need to do is you need 3 cups here, and 3 cups here, and 6 cups in the middle. Okay?
Have I got a child lock on my cups?
Have you done it?
Yeah.
Okay, well done. So it's a proper sport. It's recognised by the American Amateur Athletics Union Junior Olympics. So here's what you have to do. You have to take the stack on the left and make 3, like this. Then you have to take the 6 in the middle and make them into a stack as well, like this. And then you have to make a stack of 3. So this is the shape that you should end up with. And once you've done that, in order to do it as a proper sport stacking contest, you then have to return it to how it was, but you have to start the same way and back like this. Okay? So, are we going to have a competition? See who can do this fastest? All right.
This is so exciting.
So start on the Josh, darling. Start on the left. Okay. A stack of 3, a stack of 6, a stack of 3.
Okay.
Ready, steady, go. 3 and a 6. Who's going to be first? Take them down again from the left to the right. Come on. 3. Josh. I think we should challenge you to see if there's somebody in the audience. I'm going to pick. Does anybody want to have a go? Anybody want to go? Okay, the guy has put his hand up here. Come and have a go, my darling. Let's challenge you against Josh. Right. What's your name?
Lee.
Lee. This is Josh.
I've got
Josh,
bad
this is
news for you,
Lee.
Lee. You're about to get your arse handed to you.
Okay. Both put your hands on the board before you start. Okay, are you ready?
Not really.
Go.
Whoa, what's going on here?
You are not quite out the gate there.
I'm not going to lie to you. He dropped the first cup. Otherwise, I thought we were pretty well matched. Best of 3?
Okay, put your hands on the mat so no.
Do you think that's going to make a difference?
I do. Ready? Go. You should be ashamed, Josh.
I've ruined Christmas.
You should be ashamed of yourself, cheating at Christmas.
Onward, Chris.
Right, boys, hands on the mat. I'm going to give you best of 3. Are you ready? Go. Ladies and gentlemen, British champion stacker Lee Norton. And Johnny for coming second, and a happy Christmas to Alan, who comes first but once a year. Now, what we're going to do, we are all going to sing Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Here we go, 2, 3. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Vai là, fucker! Cannina! Phần
We're tiptoeing through our quiet episode. Pray silence for the tight-lipped Jimmy Carr. The soundless Sarah Basco. The muffled Andrew Maxwell. And the unspeakable Alan Davis. And their buzzers are all appropriately quiet. Jimmy goes.
Quiet!
Sarah goes.
Quiet!
Andrew goes.
Will you be quiet?
And Alan goes.
Oh, do shut up.